Hi everyone, my name is Rick and I welcome you back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, I basically talk about my tropical garden here in Florida where I grow mostly Hoyas and orchids and aroids. So today I'm going to go over 10 new Hoyas that I got. They're pretty rare, so can't wait to share those with you. And then I'm going to share you some footage from Hurricane Ian that hit about a week and a half ago. And we were actually lucky. We did not get full force of the hurricane. We only got a band and we got some gusts, I think over 70 miles per hour. So yeah, it did cause some damage, but not too much. Most of the Hoyas had to be moved, and that's caused me a little bit of stress because I've been having a hard time relocating them. So that's a little frustrating, but I'm getting slowly getting used to it. I have been gone for a couple weeks. I was in Portugal, and if you watch my two previous videos, I did some shoot in the island in the Azores, and I also did a botanical garden or a big greenhouse in Lisbon. So that was pretty nice experience. It was really nice seeing my mom and my brothers, and I have lots of cousins over there. That was really nice. So yeah, I'm just going to give you and show you a little bit about the yard. What happened, and then I'm going to get to show you some of the footage, and then I'm going to show you the Hoyas towards the end of the video, so please stick around. Also, when I was gone, I had the house tented for termites. Here in Florida, we are blessed with all kinds of creatures. So we have big bugs. We also have lots of mosquitoes and alligators, and we also have termites, and those can be very destructive to your house. So you have to tent your house for termites every 5 to 10 years, and that includes covering your whole house in this tarp, and they inject some poisonous gas in there, and it stays covered for a couple of days, and it could also disrupt your backyard. All the plants that were here along the edge of the house did get some effect. So even these agaves, usually they can take all kinds of abuse, but the poisonous gas from the termite tenting did cause them some damage. And also my ponytail palm, which is like 6 or 7 feet away from the house, I guess some of the fumes escaped and it got hit with it, and it looks pretty sad. So I hope that it'll bounce back. So even like this agave over here and that one that were feet away from the house, just the fumes back here was enough to to cause it to have a lot of damage. Which I was surprised is that these Hoyas over here did not get moved, and they don't have any side effects from being exposed to the poisonous gas. So even these orchids look fine too. They didn't get any issues whatsoever from the gases. So this little lime sherbet is blooming, and yeah, the ponytail palm, which is usually a lot tougher than Hoyas and orchids, did not enjoy the fumes from the tenting. So yeah, the Hoyas back here did not suffer too much, except the ones that I have growing in my other location. The wind blew off the plastic and they were exposed to some sun and a lot of rain, so they look a little sad, but I think most of them will recover. Yeah, they didn't like being exposed to that amount of wind for that long, but I think most of them will come back and they're fine. So even my Paltata here is left with one flower there. So let me just show you a couple of things here. As you can see, there's some damage from the tenting. I guess it's more damage from the tenting than from the hurricane. So yeah, we got some orchids that are blooming, and yeah, this orchid over here is a hybrid by a friend of mine, Stuart Henderson, and he gave me this, and this is the name. It's a really fragrant, really beautiful Cattleya hybrid. There's a couple of things here. So these, see, they get whipped around in the wind, so they don't look too pretty. It's going to take a few months for them to look attractive again. There's a couple of things there I want to show you. There's my pulchra did not suffer whatsoever. She looks very well. And my insularis looks pretty good too. I think it broke a vine. It was climbing up some other Hoya, but the wind kind of like pushed it into the ground, or was it the tree? I can't remember. This is more damage from the termite tenting. And so yeah, there's some orchids that are still blooming considering all this craziness that happened when I was gone. There's my, what's this guy? Sometimes I blank out on names of Hoyas, and this is Stenophila. It's doing pretty well. And I want to show you this poor guy. It was looking so beautiful. And this is that New Guinea ghost. The tree, I think, fell right on it and knocked it off, and it was sitting in the ground for a few hours, but I think it'll bounce back. I've been nursing it back to health. I was going to cut it up and start all new plants, but I think a few months it'll be back to looking fine. Maybe I'll take a cutting just as a precaution. Yeah, so this branch, as you can see over there, that's where it broke off, and it was about the size of that branch, as you'll see in the video. So back here in the video of the storm while it was going on, it looks pretty horrible, but it really did not. All the plants that were hanging on trees and stuff, they didn't suffer much whatsoever. So even some orchids started blooming. None of them that were attached anywhere fell off. So there's this beautiful Cattleya that welcomed me home last week. And there's some, the Phalaenopsis with the cool weather, they're beginning to bloom. Again, the philodendrons look okay. There's some leaf damage from the all the wind that we got. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy, and that it could have been a lot worse. I feel really bad for the people that are about 90 miles south of us and all the way down the west coast of Florida into Naples. They really got the brunt of it, and it's really sad to see it on TV. So let me show you those videos, and then I'm getting to the 10 Hoyas that I have for you. And the first Hoya I have for you today is Hoya NAP11 from Vietnam. They call it a NAP11 splash. As you can see, it's very consistently splashy. These leaves are pretty attractive. They're pretty thick. Excellent Hoya for a beginner. I would totally recommend it. It seems to be like it would be easy growing it in an apartment or outside. It seems to be doing pretty well. I haven't had any problems growing it. It roots really easy, and it starts putting out new growth pretty quick as well. So as you can see, it's a very attractive Hoya, and I would recommend it for a beginner. Can't wait to see what the flowers look like, but I suspect they will be a type of verticillata. And this is Hoya Micro Dwarf. As you can see, this is a tiny leaf Hoya, and these leaves are probably like a quarter of an inch by half an inch long. They are a little more succulent than they appear. This very cute little thing. Don't know much about it. They have a few nice ridges in the leaves, so it's very characteristic of this species. Yeah, I don't know much about it. I've been back for about a week now, and it took me a while to get used to the time change. It really messed with me, and I haven't had the energy to do much, and all the work that I had to do in the backyard with the cleanup and all that, it's really taken a lot of time, so I haven't done any of the research in the Hoyas that I'm showing you today. But I promise I will do research, and I will update you guys on how they're doing as they grow. And this one is Hoya Sumatrana. As the name implies, it is from Sumatra, and I am thinking that I'm going to get some blooms soon because I have two very nice peduncles on here, and the plant is rooted nicely. I've had it for about 2 weeks, and it's really doing really well. It looks like it's somewhat related to Hoya caudata, but I've seen the pictures online and they're definitely different looking. So yeah, this is Hoya Sumatrana. And this little guy here, as you can see, again, tiny leaves. And if I didn't know what it was, I would have guessed that it was a Dischidia, probably numularia. But it's not a Dischidia, and I received this Hoya as Hoya Paltata. It's a newer species. It has tiny, very succulent leaves, and it probably grows, I'm thinking, like a Dischidia, and I don't see any roots, but my intention is to grow this Hoya pretty dry, because sometimes these tiny little leaf Hoyas with succulent leaves, they can really get root rot pretty quickly. So far it looks pretty happy, and it's been in my care for about 2 weeks, and technically 1 week because I got back last week, and it seems to be doing okay. So I'm going to keep it growing on the dry side in the greenhouse, and it's going to be pretty warm in there as well. And again, another Hoya that I've always wanted, and I just got it a couple weeks ago, is Hoya Lina Vergaria. This one is yellow, and there's another pink that I also got. So this is the Lina Vergaria. I didn't realize that the leaves were on the smaller size. They're only about 1 inch long. So yeah, I can't wait to bloom this guy. I've always wanted it for a while now. I have an audience today, my 2 girls there watching me shoot the video and enjoying a nice sun bath. So the next one is Hoya Lina Vergaria pink, and I'm happy that it's the growth point survived the trip and it's growing, so I'm pretty excited. And the roots, this has been about 2 weeks, and it's putting out some newer roots there, as you can see. So I'm really happy to have both the Lina Vergaria pink and the Lina Vergaria yellow. And another new one that I don't know anything about. I'll show you the leaves. That's pretty splashy. They're actually pretty distinct looking leaves, and I'm really happy that it's putting out new growth at that point. And this point, they've only been here in Florida for about 2 weeks. And this is Hoya sanguinensis from Malaysia. I don't even know what the flower looks like. I guess it's pretty new in circulation. So I'm really happy to have it. I can't wait until I bloom it. So there you go, Hoya sanguinensis. And this guy I've been trying to get for a while. It's not the easiest one to find. Here in the US, I guess it's a lot easier to find in Europe. This is Hoya Carrii, or Carrii. It's spelled C-A-R-R-I-I. And as you can see, it has a prominent midrib, The leaves are pretty distinct. They have a matte green color. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a difficult grower. I'm pretty excited to have this guy, and it looks like it's putting out a new growth point there. So hopefully it's a fast grower, and I can't wait to bloom it, as I always look forward to blooming a Hoya that I've never bloomed before. It's always very exciting to me. So that's Hoya Carrii, and I just got that 2-3 weeks ago. And this is Hoya polypus. It's marked as new. I'm assuming it's very new in circulation, or if it's even being circulated. So I'm happy to have this species, and hopefully it'll grow for me. I didn't, when I saw it first, it didn't look too promising, but these two new leaves have stayed for 2 weeks, and it looks like that new growth point is going to do something. So I don't see a lot of roots developing, but it's probably slowly doing that. So, and this guy over here is a Hoya obscura variegated. Pretty rare. So I'm super excited to have this guy. It looks like it's going to make it. I don't see any new roots yet, but it did have some roots that look okay. And it's been in there for about 1.5 weeks, so it should be okay. These leaves look pretty firm. They're not mushy or anything, so I hold hope that this Hoya will grow out nicely. This is Hoya obscura variegated, and I'm super excited with this one. This is a Hoya species from Indonesia. Again, it's a species from Indonesia that no one has a name for it. As you can see, very succulent leaf, very veiny, very textured. This leaf actually looks a lot nicer in person. I've taken pictures of it, and it doesn't seem like it captures how grandiose and really luscious this Hoya is. As you can see, very textured. I've seen the flowers. I'm not really sure if it's a verticillata type Hoya. It may be a new species. So these leaves alone, you wouldn't even need flowers. If you have a full pot of this Hoya, it should be striking. And I'm really excited that it's putting out a new growth over there. So really excited about that. And look at all those roots in less than 2 weeks. So excellent. It looks like an easy Hoya to grow as well, and hopefully I'll get this thing big in no time. Hoya species from Indonesia. And the last one, the grand finale today, is Hoya irisa. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Never heard it pronounced by anyone else, but there's the tag. It's spelled I-R-I-S-I-A-E. And it's almost, at the first glance, it kind of reminds you of like a Hoya amarita or a frogfoot or something like that, but it's not. The flowers are very different, and if you Google them online, you will see they're pretty exotic looking. These leaves are actually thicker than they appear on film. And show you the peduncles. It came with 2 peduncles, but I wasn't expecting these peduncles to be forming buds like that, but it looks like there's a good possibility that it'll bloom for me within a week or 2. So I'm really excited, and I'll be sure to update you guys on the next video or the one after that. So this is Hoya irisa, and I am really happy to share it with you guys, all my new Hoyas. Very excited. I'm glad to be back to the US. It was a wonderful trip. I was a little stressed because of all the hurricane news that was coming across. But again, very lucky that we were fortunate here in the Tampa Bay area. And if you're interested on what products I use for growing my Hoyas, I have an Amazon store. It's in the description below. You can click on that and see most of the stuff that I use in my backyard. And I would also like to let you guys know that in about 3 weeks I will be in Thailand, and I will probably be shooting some videos from the market, from the Hoya market there in Bangkok, and then I'll be going up to Chiang Mai and some other parts of Thailand, and I'll probably do some videos from the jungle and from other Hoya sellers. So who knows, there's always amazing experiences to be had in Thailand, and I will probably share those with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and come back every Sunday when I upload a new one. So I appreciate that, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.